Hello and welcome to News Tonight on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Tina Jha. Let's begin with the top stories of the day. Setback for the Shiv Sena in its efforts towards government formation in Maharashtra. Party leaders meet governor who refuses to grant it more time to gather support. Governor now invites NCP for consultation. India has the potential to emerge as one of the world's leading economies in the next 10 years, says Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu. Also says country being recognized as a global power as it rises up to assume a leadership position in various fields. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh emphasizes the $26 billion by 2025 target set by the government for the defence sector, says work underway towards making India a world-class domestic defence industry. National Disaster Management Committee meets to take stock of relief work in areas affected by Cyclone Bulbul. Centres help assure two states, West Bengal and Odisha. Power supply restored in both these states. Communication lines expected to be up soon. And Angad Veer Singh Bajwa and Mairaj Ahmed bagged tickets for Tokyo Olympics, taking India's quota in shooting to a record 15. Sports Minister Kiran Rijiju lauds shooters for best ever Olympic qualification. And the top story this evening, Shiv Sena's hopes to form the government in Maharashtra have been dashed, with the governor refusing to grant the party more time to gather support. A Shiv Sena delegation led by Aditya Thackeray met the Maharashtra governor on Monday evening, expressing their willingness to form the government in the state. However, their request for more time was rejected by the governor. According to a Raj Bhavan release, the Shiv Sena delegation did not submit the requisite letter of support. At a media briefing later, Aditya Thackeray reiterated that his party will continue to put in efforts to form the government in Maharashtra.
कल शाम को जैसे ही भाजपा ने दावा था वो नकारा, वैसे ही हमें खत आया, गवर्नर साहब का खत आया। उसी में कहा गया था कि 24 घंटों में हमें विलिंगनेस टू क्लेम गवर्नमेंट ये बताना था। इन्हीं शब्दों के मुताबिक हमने आज आके हमारा जो विल है क्लेम करने का, जो विलिंगनेस है वो बताया है गवर्नर साहब को। लेकिन हमने यही कहा है कि जो हमारे साथी दल है उनकी जो प्रक्रिया होती है, जो सारे प्रोसीजर्स होते हैं, वो फॉर्म करने के लिए 2 दिनों की हमें मुदत चाहिए थी। वो 48 आवर्स उन्होंने रिजेक्ट किए, लेकिन हमारा क्लेम अभी तक लीगली और पेपर पे रिजेक्ट नहीं हुआ है। हमें महाराष्ट्र में स्थिर सरकार चाहिए जो सत्यवचनी है और झूठ बोलती नहीं है, तो वो सरकार बनाने के लिए हम यहाँ हैं।
The governor, in fact, has now also invited NCP for consultations over government formation. Ajit Pawar, Chhagan Bhujbal, Jayant Patil and others are currently meeting the governor.
आता 8:30 वाजता राजभवनातनं राज्यपाल महोदयांचा फोन आला। राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेस पार्टीचा विधिमंडळाचा नेता या नात्याने माझ्याशी ते बोलले की तुम्ही मला भेटायला या। मी त्यांना भेटायला भुजबळ साहेब, जयंतराव पाटील, धनंजय मुंडे, दिलीप वळसे पाटील असे आम्ही 5 जण त्या ठिकाणी चाललेलो आहे। कशा करता भेटायला बोलवलंय ते मला माहिती नाही।
So the NCP will now hold discussions with the Congress party, which is its ally in the state, and decide as to how to provide a stable government in Maharashtra. Earlier in the day, Shiv Sena President Uddhav Thackeray met NCP Chief Sharad Pawar and is learned to have requested the latter to extend his party's support in forming the government. The Sena chief also had a phone call conversation with Congress President Sonia Gandhi.
We have already issued a press note, and we have mentioned that we have already discussed with working committee members and also our PCC president and other leaders, and our AICC president also spoken to Sharad Pawar, and further discussion will take place tomorrow in Bombay, or further whatever arrangement we have to make, that we will talk. Beyond this, there is nothing.
In some other news, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has said that with the talent India has, the country can become a $10 trillion economy within the next 10 to 15 years. Rajnath Singh was speaking at the Deaf Connect, a show organized to showcase accomplishments of innovations for defence excellence.
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh said on Monday that India has the potential to become a $10 trillion economy within the next 10 to 15 years. The Modi government had underlined its priorities in the first 50 days of its second term, aiming to make India a $5 trillion economy by 2024. The defence sector has a pivotal role to play in that aim.
Defence technology और प्लेटफॉर्म्स के मामले में भारत अब नेट इंपोर्टर से नेट इनोवेटर और उसके बाद नेट एक्सपोर्टर के रूप में आगे आएगा। इस संबंध में भी मैं पूरी तरह से कॉन्फिडेंट हूं।
The Defence Minister also called for increased and active participation of the private sector in defence manufacturing. This, he said, would help the government achieve its target of making the Indian defence industry worth $26 billion by 2025.
हमें अभी आवश्यकता है कि पब्लिक और प्राइवेट इंस्टीट्यूशंस की क्षमताओं को एक साथ लेकर कोहेसिव प्रोसेस का निर्माण किया जाए ताकि रिसर्च या मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में हम सर्वश्रेष्ठ स्थान प्राप्त कर सकें।
The government aims to make India a world-class domestic defence industry that is self-reliant and less dependent on imports. Defence exports, which were negligible a few years ago, reached 10,745 crore rupees in 2018-19. For the current financial year, the target is 15,000 crore rupees. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will reach Brazil on Tuesday to attend the 11th BRICS summit. This will be the 6th time Prime Minister Modi will be participating in the BRICS summit, and he is expected to raise the issue of terrorism as well as terror financing in the meeting of the 5 BRICS countries.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will leave for Brazil on Tuesday with a strong official delegation. This visit gains importance in the light of India formally announcing moving out of RCEP. On Wednesday, he will interact bilaterally with leaders of the 4 other BRICS nations as part of pre-summit consultations. In addition, Prime Minister Modi will also utilize the opportunity to meet leaders of other nations which are not formal members of BRICS but will participate as guests there. Later the same day, he will attend the BRICS Business Forum meet.
A large business delegation from India is also expected to be present during the visit, especially to attend the BRICS Business Forum, where the business community of all 5 countries are represented.
Prime Minister Modi will address the summit on the second day. He will address 2 sessions, one plenary that would focus on cooperation for the economic development of BRICS societies and a separate closed session that will discuss challenges and opportunities for the exercise of national sovereignty in a contemporary world. In the second session, members may also raise some issues of how not to intervene in the internal affairs of other member countries.
The meeting of BRICS leaders with BRICS Business Council will take place. During this dialogue, the chairman of the Brazilian BRICS Business Council will submit his report. There will also be another report submitted by the president of the New Development Bank.
MOUs between trade and investment promotion agencies of the BRICS nations will be signed at the end of the summit before the issuance of a joint declaration. Akhilesh Suman's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
President Ramnath Kovind attended the convocation ceremony of the Vishwa Bharati University in Shanti Niketan on Monday. Addressing the ceremony, the president said that his visit to the university was like a pilgrimage, as Mahatma Gandhi and Rabindranath Tagore used to frequently meet at Shanti Niketan. He also said that the Vishwa Bharati University that was established by Rabindranath Tagore was the place that reimagined the values that define India.
When the two titans met later, Gurudev addressed Gandhiji as Mahatma. The epithet was not new, but it gained currency after it received the mark of Tagore's approval. The two great minds, united by their deep concern for the nation, its rich heritage, and its contemporary poverty, struck instant rapport. Being original thinkers, they disagreed on countless issues: the ideas of India, the varieties of nationalisms, the method of politics, and so on. In their frequent debates, however, they were not only civil to each other, but full of heartfelt admiration for each other. That is why these debates generated not heat, but light.
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu on Monday addressed the third convocation ceremony of Jawaharlal Nehru University. In his address, the Vice President congratulated all the students who were awarded their degrees and complimented the faculty members of JNU for providing quality education. Addressing the gathering, the Vice President said the time has come for India to once again emerge as a global hub of learning. He also called upon all universities and institutions of higher learning to reorient their methods of teaching and focus more on research. He also stressed on the need for bringing back the holistic vision for education and a multidisciplinary approach towards learning.
Convocation is always an important event for any academic institution and a significant milestone in your academic growth. I am now recollecting my days when I first received my degree. It is a moment of pride and joy for the degree holders and winners of medals and prizes. Learning is a never-ending process, and the firm foundation provided to you by your alma mater will empower you to explore new horizons in your life. As Swami Vivekananda has said almost 100 years ago, I quote, "Intelligence must not remain the monopoly of the cultured few. The immense power of the people for work must be utilized. India's potential are great," unquote. Leaving no one behind is the overreaching goal of our government and the sustainable development goals. Equity and quality must be the watchwords of all our educational institutions. As you are all aware, India was once known as Vishwaguru. My dear students and the teachers, the time has come for India to once again emerge as a global hub of learning. For this to happen, our universities and institutions of higher learning have to reorient their methods of teaching and focus more sharply on research. Sri Jawaharlal Nehru University, which was established as a central university by an Act of Parliament in 1966, is celebrating its Golden Jubilee this year. It's a matter of pride that JNU had become synonymous with academic excellence in the country. I'm happy to note that JNU had recently received the highest ranking grade A++ from NAAC, National Assessment and Accreditation Council. And also JNU was ranked number 2 among all the universities in India by the National Institutional Ranking Framework, Government of India 2017 and 18. Besides this, JNU was also a recipient of the Best University Award from the President of India. My congratulations to all the concerned.
The Vice President expressed happiness over the fact that women constitute 51% of the students in JNU because of its special admission policy. He stressed on the need for political empowerment of women as well by providing adequate reservation for them in Parliament and state legislatures. He said JNU has become synonymous with academic excellence in the country today, as he lauded the university for receiving the highest ranking grade A++ from NAC recently. Union HRD Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank was also present on the occasion.
अटल जी ने कहा था नहीं जय जवान जय किसान के बाद अब जय विज्ञान होना चाहिए और विज्ञान में हमने पराकाष्ठा को चूमा था और दुनिया में महाशक्ति के रूप में भारत को स्थापित किया था अटल जी ने। और अब हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा कि विज्ञान के बाद अनुसंधान की जरूरत है। अब पूरी दुनिया हमको देख रही है, इस समय हमको पूरी निगाह टिकाई हुई है हिंदुस्तान पर, क्योंकि पूरी जिस तरीके से परिस्थितियां बदल रही हैं उन परिस्थितियों में भारत सबकी आशाओं का केंद्र है। और इसलिए हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने, नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने जय जवान जय किसान और जय विज्ञान के बाद जय अनुसंधान की बात की है।
Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu received the 325th report of the department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Science and Technology, Environment, Forests and Climate Change from a delegation of MPs on Monday. Chairman of the committee, Jairam Ramesh, led the delegation in New Delhi. The 325th report is on an expanded role for the Department of Atomic Energy in cancer treatment in India through an enlarged network of Tata Memorial Centre. And Vice President Venkaiah Naidu has said that India has the potential to emerge as one of the leading economies in the next 10 years. The Vice President was addressing the 21st ASSOCHAM JRD Tata Memorial Lecture in New Delhi. He added that the fundamentals of Indian economy are strong, with the government committed to pursuing various reforms.
India has the potential to emerge as one of the leading economies in the next 10 years. There may be some temporary recession. Worldwide it is happening. And you compare with the world situation and compare with the developed countries, India is moving ahead. But we would like to see a situation where the speculation of the World Bank, World Economic Forum, Asian Development Bank, International Monetary Fund, all organizations which were forecasting that if you move with the same speed and reforms, and if all the stakeholders perform well in unison, India will become third largest economy in the world in the near future. Because, my dear friends, our fundamentals are strong.
The Vice President also said in the global arena, India is being recognized as a strong power and is rising up to assume a leadership position, whether it be the issue of climate change, multilateral trade liberalization, or geopolitical affairs. On the occasion, he also released a special publication on JRD Tata.
It's a matter of great pride for us that our nation is rising in stature in various fields, be it in economic, geopolitical influence, defense, sports, science, IT, and space technology.
With the issue of notification for the second phase of assembly elections in the state of Jharkhand, the process of filing of nomination papers in 20 assembly seats commenced on Monday. Filing of nomination for this phase will end on 18th November, while scrutiny will be taken up on the next day. The last date for withdrawal of candidature will be 21st of November. Jharkhand will vote in 5 phases, with the first one on 30th November and the last being on 20th December. The results will be declared on 23rd December. In a breakthrough for the security forces in Jammu and Kashmir, 2 terrorists were killed in Bandipora on Monday in an encounter with security forces. According to the police, a joint team of the Army, Special Operations Group as well as the CRPF launched a cordon and search operation on the basis of specific inputs about the presence of terrorists in Vijhara-Levdara area of the district on Sunday. Arms and ammunition have been recovered from the encounter site.
ये ऑपरेशन में कोई कोलैटरल डैमेज नहीं है। 2 टेररिस्ट जो है मारे गए हैं और इनका वाबस्ता लश्कर-ए-तोयबा के साथ है और एक टेररिस्ट जो आइडेंटिफाई हुआ है वो अबू तला के नाम पे जाना जाता था और यहाँ पे वो काफ़ी टाइम से एक्टिव था। वो पाकिस्तानी टेररिस्ट है। उनके पास से काफ़ी सामान बरामद की गई है, जिसमें AK-47 वेपन 2 है, बाकी कुछ कम्युनिकेशन डिवाइसेस हैं, कुछ पाकिस्तान बेस्ड मटेरियल्स भी वो भी मिले हैं।
Meanwhile, train services in the Kashmir Valley, which were the train from Srinagar to Baramulla, was conducted on Monday. A Northern Railway official said train services from Srinagar to Banihal in Jammu region will resume in the next phase shortly. The Jammu and Kashmir government has set up a 10-member committee to declare Srinagar's famous Dal Lake and its surrounding areas as an eco-sensitive zone, following concerns over its shrinking size. According to an assessment by the Dredging Corporation of India in 2017, pollution and encroachments have resulted in the Dal Lake shrinking from its original area of 22 square kilometers to about 10 square kilometers. The DCI also found that the world-famous lake's capacity has shrunk to about 40% and that its water quality has worsened. Additional Secretary of General Administrative Department Subhash Chibber said the committee shall finalize the draft notification within a period of 1 month. And China on Monday welcomed India and Pakistan's initiative to open the Kartarpur corridor. Addressing the media, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Geng Shuang said the opening of the corridor will improve relations between the two neighbors and both countries should resolve their differences through mutual dialogue. He also stressed on the importance of both South Asian countries and that peaceful coexistence between the two meets the basic interests of both and the common aspiration of the world as well. The Kartarpur corridor connects Gurdwara Darbar Sahib in Pakistan, which is the final resting place of Guru Nanak Dev, to the Dera Baba Nanak Shrine in Punjab. The first batch of the Indian Sikh pilgrims entered Pakistan on Saturday through the historic corridor, which was thrown open ahead of the 550th birth anniversary of Sikhism founder Guru Nanak Dev. And now let's talk about environment and climate change. A new study by Seas at Risk and Transport and Environment says that slowing down ships reduce production of greenhouse gases and marine noise. 20% reduction in the speed would cut down sulfur and nitrogen oxides by around 24% and also curb pollutants such as black carbon and nitrogen oxides. This speed limit would cut underwater noise by 66% and also reduce the chances of whale collisions by 78%. Shipping generates roughly 3% of the global total of greenhouse gases. As ships travel slowly, they burn less fuel, and therefore cutting down the emissions significantly. Shipping wasn't covered by the Paris Climate Agreement, and yet last year the industry agreed to cut emissions by 50% by the year 2050 compared to its 2008 levels. Proposals to reduce the speed of ships will be considered at the meeting of the International Maritime Organization in London later this week. Cyclone Bulbul left a trail of destruction in West Bengal, killing at least 10 people after making landfall in Sagar Islands Saturday night. While in the state of Odisha, at least 2 people lost their lives. As many as 178,000 people have been shifted to 471 relief camps set up across West Bengal. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee on Monday conducted aerial survey of the areas affected by Cyclone Bulbul. The Chief Minister held a review meet with the officials for relief and restoration work. She stressed on the need for restoration of power supply, provision of clean drinking water, and ensuring medical help and other assistance to the people as soon as possible. Whereas in Odisha, Cyclone Bulbul caused extensive damage, leaving a trail of destruction there as well. Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik also conducted an aerial survey of the affected districts. He also reviewed the damage caused by the calamity. The Cabinet Secretary also chaired a meeting of the National Disaster Management Committee to review the relief and rescue operations both in West Bengal and Odisha. Power supply in both the states have been restored, while communication lines are expected to be up soon. Meanwhile, in neighboring Bangladesh, Cyclone Bulbul has claimed 13 lives so far and more than 20 people have been reportedly injured. And on to some sports news now. Angad Veer Singh Bajwa and Mehraj Ahmed have backed tickets for Olympic Games scheduled to take place in Tokyo next year. So with this, India's quota in shooting for the 2020 Olympics has increased to a record 15. Remember, at the Rio Olympics, a total of 12 shooters from India had participated, while in London, the number was 11. On Sunday, Angad and Mehraj won the Olympic quota by winning gold and silver medals in the shotgun competition at the 14th Asian Championships. Sports Minister Kiran Rijiju has congratulated Angad and Mehraj on their achievements. He also added that this is the best ever Olympic qualification for the country and extended his greetings to all other shooters as well who have qualified for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. And that's it from us in this bulletin. Thank you very much for your time. Good night.